check fund. Acknowledging a donation of $300 from the Valley Crest Riders Incorporated to the Rushford Public Library for the Children's Reading Program. See attached resolution and thank you.
Motion to approve with thanks.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Hansi, second by Mr. Colkinson. We'll call it. All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you to the Valley Crest Riders. 8H, consideration adoption of resolution 2015-029, accepting the grant in aid snowmobile trail permit for a permit time of 5 years effective July 1st, 2015, subject to terms of the state of Minnesota statutes and all conditions as specified in the grant and aid trail permit. See attached resolution.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Mr. Bunky, second by Mr. Colvinson. Questions?
This is just a renewal, right?
Yeah, it's all things. All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. 8I, consideration of receiving a recommendation from Board of Zoning Appeals from a hearing held earlier this same date to consider the request of David and Andrea Brand to build a garage with less than the required side yard at their property at 410 South Ferry Street. Board of Zoning Appeals minutes will be provided at the meeting. And the conclusion was, this is always very exciting.
Unanimous. Move to approve.
Hang on. Got a motion up, second.
Second.
Thank you.
I had a person's question on the lot line. Jay Anderson says the lot line is not right. Anybody know anything about that?
They have measured out to the best of their ability, and they have, and we've looked it up on, well, you've got copies of some of the maps and stuff there. And, there has been a concrete slab on that property forever and ever. When Johnny Haig lived there years ago, he poured that years ago. And, they will be 6 feet from the property line, and the other people's garage is 6 feet from the property line. So they're not gonna be infringing any more on each other than they already are, really.
So it's just the slab that's there, putting a garage on it.
Yeah.
She showed no concern, but she said it wasn't that important.
Well, it's weird down there because they each have their lot, and then there used to be a roadway that went through before the dike was there, and they divided that up when the dike was put in, and Anderson's got 22 feet, and the other side got 18, or the other way around. So they each have their own lot plus the extra footage.
That's
So-
where that alleyway continued on.
I think so, that's why their lots are so weirdly, you know, they really have two parcels they each have like two parcels combined. But they, you know, he told me that, the Brands told me that they had been visiting with their neighbors and they talked about it and looked it over, but they did not come to the hearing to oppose anything.
Well, she was a little concerned about the property line. Well, there's properties there in town where the property line goes right through the house.
Yep, that's true.
But the concrete slab and everything, the levee isn't a concern either.
No,
It's far enough away from that.
and the slab is on their own property, so.
Make a motion that.
We already got that. We're good, Rod. So, anybody else have any questions? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. 8J, review of a parcel being forfeited by the state of Minnesota for non-payment of property taxes. Fillmore County requests that the city approve the parcels for public auction, auction to adjacent owners, or request a conveyance to our city for public use. The parcel has outstanding assessments, and the city could request the price to be set to so all assessments got paid. However, that action may prevent the sale due to the small size of the parcel. Council needs to give authorization for desired action, see attached.
Well, this is in the same neighborhood, just across the street.
Now, it says, it's in 45 by 140, what's the minimum for a width on a lot?
75.
So they would have to somehow deal with the Rasmussen lot next door.
Well, if somebody wants to, combine those two lots, they'd have a decent lot to put a house on.
The Rasmussen lot is about the same width, 45
Yeah,
feet?
it's exactly the same, I think.
So when these assessments are paid, who owns the lot?
Nobody, well, the state owns it now because, they
We're
have
not
not paid
paying.
taxes, and the assessments have not been paid. So, like the other two parcels that they sold on forfeiture, they only got $500, and we gave up like $5,000 worth of assessments against it.
Terry, that's it.
That one vacant one up
Yeah.
on 101 Street, because, at that time, you had to weigh do you wanna hold out to try to get this money back, or do you wanna actually put the parcel into use, or get the house put into use, or get somebody paying taxes on it, or,
Well,
get it.
that probably belonged to Jay Summers. It did.
Yeah, and then another gal bought it, and then walked away from it after the flood. And
The
then
other one,
we-
right north of it, is Alan Rasmussen, I think.
That's where I
Oh,
live.
you're back down in Jerusalem now?
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
You say Alan Rasmussen?
Alan Rasmussen owns the empty lot,
Yeah.
and, Brand, I don't know if Jay ever owned, if Summers ever owned
Yeah,
that
that
or
was
not,
Jay
I
Summers'
don't know,
house.
but,
I did some work on
Alan
it.
Rasmussen.
Was there a house there?
Yeah.
yeah, we demolished it after the flood because they had walked away from it, and it was one of those really icky,
Yeah.
scary ones that we did a condemnation on it because it was so bad.
Yeah.
And that's where that demo cost is, although we did get some money out of the county to help pay for that, but they had some improvements down there in the 2009 project, so, we got $4,500 stuck into the parcel, but it's sitting there empty, so.
So, can a house be built on it?
Not on that one particular bit.
As it is
45.
now,
It's not big enough.
somebody would have to ask for lots of variances to be able to do that.
Well, there was a house there.
There was a house there.
Yeah, there was a house. I think if you had both lots, you could build a really nice
Yeah.
house and have a garage access in the back where that alley is.
Yeah.
But now during the
I
flood,
mean, to be kids, that's a great property.
you could build on the footprints.
Yes, but those people have given up that ability to do
Because the
that.
house is gone.
That was to make sure homeowners could stay on their own lots and on their own property, that we bent the rules on that one. But if they sold it or walked away from it, then all that went out the window.
Just one thing to remember, you don't have much more land, so,
Yeah.
if you could put a house in there, even if it's a small one, and it would work for a couple or something, it would seem to me to make sense that we would make those provisions to allow someone to build there.
But
You'd have to have the hearings and all of that, but let's say that somebody couldn't get both of those lots and combine them, and they had the one lot and they wanted to put a house on it, I think that's something that we should consider.
that would be a much better deal. There isn't much width in a 45-foot width house.
But there are a lot of places around this country where there's thinner than that, narrower than that. And
East End of Winona.
they have nice houses, they have decent houses on them.
The